All right, this is Josh Rubin from East West Healing Performance. Today I'm back. I've been gone for a little bit. I've been in Atlanta teaching the HLC1 for the Czech Institute. It's a great course. Unbelievable students. I think that I learned a ton of information from these students, and I think they actually enjoyed it themselves. If you ever get a chance to go to Atlanta, it's a beautiful place. No, I didn't get to see the city and all this, but the houses and the architecture, the classic look of the houses was just beautiful. People, super nice people. I stayed with a beautiful family, Czech practitioners who really live it 100%. And it's just beautiful to share life experiences with people who align with you. It's a little cold there, but it's a beautiful place. So today we're going to be talking about good fats and fats that are being wasted. What I find is most practitioners or people that are watching this, they're eating good quality fats. Now we can talk about bad fats, but when I'm talking about fats right now, I want to talk about good fats. They're eating fats, they're eating the avocados, they're eating the coconut oil, olive oil, all these different good fats. And at the same time, everyone's so gung-ho on taking cod liver oil and fish oil. It's like the end-all be-all for everything right now. It's like you work with someone or you have a problem, go get your omega-3s, it's going to help. Well, there's a problem with that because you can't just eat foods and not know what's going on inside of the gut. Just like if you have dysbiosis in your gut and you eat foods that are high in tryptophan, or you take the supplement tryptophan. That's why I'm not really gung-ho about giving someone a supplement unless I do a lab. Because if you're taking tryptophan and you have dysbiosis, the anaerobic bacteria in the gut actually eat the tryptophan and they make a byproduct called indole. What happens is that indole gets processed through the liver and excreted by the kidneys, and that's basically indican is the end result. And that's bowel toxemia. So the very foods you're eating and the supplements you're taking are causing a toxemia in the body. So when it comes to fats and oils, there's different things that can be going on. Now, people could develop what's called a biliary insufficiency, which is like a liver gallbladder. It's a hepatobiliary system. And usually when you develop a biliary insufficiency, it's basically an inability of the liver cells to produce enough bile. Now, this usually happens from poor diet, stress, eating too many hydrogenated oils, having too much oxidation or free radicals build up in the body from grilling or any of the stresses that you can think of. It can be due to diseases of the liver like cirrhosis or fatty liver disease, which is usually from decreased protein, decreased fat in the diet, and too many bad fats. And another thing that can happen is biliary stasis. This is when there's basically a supersaturation or a thickening of the bile. And this happens usually from deficiencies such as a decrease in bile acid formation or decrease in phosphatidylcholine secretion. Now, that's a little bit technical, but the bottom line is, if those are left unchecked, that's when people get stones in the gallbladder. And what most people want to do is eliminate the gallbladder and get rid of it. Dr. Lee showed that most women, I forget the actual percentage, but women that are estrogen dominant are basically, I think he said 90% or even 100% more likely to get their gallbladder removed as a symptom, so being estrogen dominant. As well, what we see is people that go on low-fat diets, you basically create stasis in the gallbladder, and then you create stones, and then, the Western medicine result is, let's get your gallbladder removed. Well, there's a problem with that. Let's rewind it. Let's keep asking why and rewinding and figuring out what's going on. Is it the gallbladder? No, that's usually the branch of it all. Is it the bile? No, that's the branch of it all. I mean, these all play a part. And we keep rewinding it, and we find out it's diet and lifestyle. I know I sound repetitive, but it always comes back to that. It always comes back to a chronic stress response from internal or external environment. That's the bottom line. That's how everything begins. Now, when this happens, most of the time when you're eating fats, you have biliary stasis or biliary insufficiencies. There's one more thing that can happen. In your gut, and this is what most people don't know, you have villi, right? They're like folds that increase the surface area of your small intestine. And microvilli are like little hairs on the top of the villi. And you have concentric folds as well. These three things increase the absorptive area of foods that you take in so you can actually digest them, absorb them, increase or make energy. Well, through, crappy foods, chemicals, stress, environmental stressors, emotional stressors, all the chemicals that are in your foods, gluten intolerance, a sucrose intolerance, a lactose intolerance, on and on. These villi start to go like this, and they trap bacteria and parasites and crypts, which lead to autoimmune diseases. That's a whole other YouTube clip. But at the same time, at the top of those microvilli, you release what is called lacteals. These lacteals release like a milky substance, almost like breast milk, that help to break down fats so your body can absorb them. Most of the fats in your body should be absorbed in the small intestine. The rest, I think the rest is about 40%, is actually excreted into the large intestine to bind to toxins so you can poop out toxins. One of the most common things I see in my lab test is high amounts of cholesterol in triglycerides in the stool. And we see this on a lab test. That means they have fatty malabsorption issues from the gallbladder and the liver as well as the small intestine. And the problem with this is if you have a problem, you can't just keep eating more fats. And if you have a problem digesting your fats and breaking them down and absorbing them because of small intestine problems like dysbiosis, hyperpermeability problems like leaky gut syndrome, bowel toxemia, not enough acid in the stomach, parasites, bacteria, fungus, gastritis, you name it, you can't digest and break down the food you're eating. So the very foods you're eating are actually causing a problem. And what happens is a lot of the times when you do this, you excrete most of them. A lot of the fats make their way, or the bile makes their way to the large intestine, which is highly inflammatory, has been shown to actually lead to colon cancer. A lot of the times you get rancidity of these fats in the large intestine, which leads to gas and bloating and all these fun things. A lot of the times, if you're taking in high amounts of polyunsaturated fatty oils, your body can't break them down and actually converts them to hydrogenated oils. It leads to essential fatty acid deficiencies and mineral deficiencies, on and on and on and on and on. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. Oh, the other most important thing is it leads to inadequate absorption of your fat-soluble vitamins, which is vitamin A, D, E, and K. We have all these people that are vitamin D deficient, vitamin K deficient. This is like the new wave. Everyone wants to do a lab test for vitamin D or vitamin K. Well, the question is, most of these are absorbed in the small intestine, so if you're deficient in vitamin D and vitamin K, is it actual deficiency, or is it an issue with the liver, gallbladder, insufficiency, or stasis? What's causing that? And an issue with the small intestine and the villi and the microvilli and the lacteals breaking down the fats, allowing you to absorb them. And why is that happening? It always comes down to diet. So I guess my purpose of this YouTube clip is just to educate you on how foods can be toxic if your internal environment is not in a homeostatic, I guess, is not homeostatic, is not balanced. Homeostasis is a balance between internal and external environment, like a seesaw, right? Hiya. So what do? Well, it's too complicated. It's way too complicated. The bottom line is you should get a lab test done, or slowly decrease the amount of fats that you're eating. Do some type of liver gallbladder flush or drainage or support program, as well as heal the small intestine through the 4-hour Gut Healing program that you see in my YouTube clips, that you see in my website, and you see in my blog. And you rewind it, and you go back to eating a holistic diet, eating foods from the land, eliminating processed foods, adapting your stressors. I mean, all these solutions are on my website, on my blog, and on my YouTube page. So my goal is to educate you so you can figure out why you're having these issues. Search my blog, search my YouTube page, heal your gut so you can start absorbing your fats and digesting your fats. What I found is most people that when they go poo and it burns, that has to do with a lot of the cholesterol and triglycerides in their feces. They're not breaking them down in their small intestines. And people that do have parasites, that's another sign because the bile actually helps bind to toxins to eliminate them. So hopefully you've learned something today, and hopefully you've learned that everything that's supposedly good can also be bad. Right? So thank you for tuning in. I'm back. I'm feeling great. Stay tuned for some more great YouTube clips, and I'll check you later. Peace.